Coming up on Seminole Sports Magazine. There's no sophomore slump when it comes to these two golfers. We'll meet these young talents playing for Florida State. Also, Bobby Bowden returns to his field at Doak Campbell Stadium. We'll take a look at the event and hear some comments from former players. Then, we'll give you some highlights and scores of some recent FSU athletics. And we'll profile an inspiration to the Florida State football team. These stories and more on Seminole Sports Magazine. Hello everyone, I'm Scott Kotick. First up, leadership knows no age. The Florida State golf team is young in years, but does not lack in skill or character. Kelsey Portugal introduces us to two young golfers leading FSU on the fairway.
Confidence, focus, perseverance. Qualities every golfer needs to excel in the sport. Qualities that typically come with age and maturity. But Hank Lebiota and Rowan Caron are ahead of the game. The two golfers are still in their early years of college, but are already leading FSU on the fairway.
I may be a sophomore, I may only be 19 years old, but the younger guys still need someone to look up to.
Last year, Rowan took first place at the Gary Koch Invitational, and Hank was named All-American and ACC Freshman of the Year.
It's a real honor to be named ACC Freshman of the Year because it's voted upon by the coaches in the conference. To be that well respected from throughout the entire conference from every team, it's really neat. Then when I was named All ACC, I mean, that was just an added bonus. That's something I wasn't trying to get, I wasn't even focused on, but it happened anyway.
With each accomplishment comes the drive to achieve more. Rowan was only one of two freshmen in the ACC to win a tournament last year. Now in his sophomore season, he hopes to win even more.
If you win one, it's a big motivation to keep practicing and keep getting better, and I'd rather win a tournament than finish second 5 times.
Last summer, Rowan went back to his home country, the Netherlands, and tried his hand in a pro tournament.
The tournament I played is called the KLM Open, and I made the cut there. That was a pro tournament, so I was really happy with that.
From one success to the next, both Rowan and Hank are showing the team how to be winners. Not just from their achievements, but how they handle themselves on the course.
They've both been really good role models on the golf course. Teach you how to accept bad shots. You learn a lot about fighting back from them. They both never give up. They both have a really competitive attitude.
I try to lead by example. Do the right things day in and day out and show them how, if you do those things, you can succeed.
Success comes from achieving goals. Last year, the team advanced to the NCAA championships. For their sophomore season, these young golfers are setting higher targets.
Well, I want to get All-American this year. I've played pretty good in the fall so far. I want to win a tournament in the spring, that's one thing. And then just try to get as many top 5s as I can to get All-American.
If I were able to continue what I did and continue to improve and have the team improve as a whole, that would be awesome. If I do my part, I know the team will follow.
In golf, nothing comes easy. Every long drive, every successful putt takes confidence, focus, and perseverance. For Hank, these challenges are even harder as he faces a potential season-ending disease.
I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease last December, and I was told that I would have to take a semester off and that I probably wouldn't be able to play collegiate golf for about 2 years. When you're told you can't do something, not to expect to even go to school for an entire year, it was pretty, it put things in perspective, and it made me realize how much this really meant to me.
Hank hasn't let his health problems keep him down. He's willing to do whatever it takes to keep swinging.
It was a struggle. I kept at it, I didn't let that opportunity, because the fact that I was here, I was happy. So I was trying to make the most of it, and it turned into Freshman of the Year.
The team doesn't let Hank face adversity alone, helping him off the course as much as he helps the team on it.
We're a really close-knit team. We all live together every time we go do something as a team. That's a real special bond that we at Florida State have had for a long time. We're growing up together, going through a lot of hard things and learning together. There's nothing like that. That brings everyone as close as you can.
Being friends as well as teammates has its benefits. The team and its leaders work hard on the course and have fun off it, a recipe for success. Hank and Rowan hope to make this year even better than their first, aiming high, scoring low. I'm Kelsey Portugal for Seminole Sports Magazine.
Hank Lee Biota, Rowan Karen, and the rest of the team are in the offseason preparing for their spring campaign. Their first tournament will be held in Gainesville as the Gator Invitational starts on February 15th. When we come back, we'll take a look at the event of the year as Bobby Bowden returns to Florida State. And also, one Florida State freshman is leading by example every day in practice, rain or shine. Seminole Sports Magazine is brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero. Real Coke taste and 0 calories. During his 34-year coaching tenure at Florida State, Bobby Bowden was one of the most popular and beloved figures in Tallahassee and in all of college football. He still is today. After his retirement in 2009, Bowden had not set foot on the field that bears his name until he came back for the Noles home game against NC State. Sean Davison was there and has the story on this legendary homecoming.
377 wins, 12 conference titles, 2 national championships, 1 coach. Bobby Bowden is a Florida State and college football legend. His achievements are respected, his persona is beloved. Over his 34 years as the Seminoles head coach, Bowden earned the most wins of any football coach in the NCAA. He still holds that record today. He won titles, and he also won hearts, both in Tallahassee and across the country.
From what I hear, everybody who played for him, they always said, not only he's not just only that coach that that's going to coach you hard or do rah-rah and just forget about your other practice. He's one of the guys that want to be a part of your life.
For some players, Coach Bowden's faith was particularly impactful. He encouraged his players to attend church and took time to instill Christian values.
When we were in camp, he took us to like 2 or 3 different churches from different backgrounds, and I will say that he tried to push God in our life more than any other coach I've ever had.
Another takeaway for players was Bowden's emphasis on family, community, and work ethic. He taught them how to be good husbands, fathers, and family and community members.
Really, when I look at Coach and what he taught me, it has nothing to do with football. It was all about family, the way you respond to your family, your wife, your children, and try to help people out in the community. And that's what I got from him. Football was just, icing on the cake, but we learned so many other things from Coach.
That was one thing I can honestly say about Coach Bowden. It was family, God, and, take care of your schoolwork. So, family, God, schoolwork.
Because of his team's success, Coach Bowden essentially helped build Florida State. Since the football team drew interest, more people sought information about what the university itself had to offer.
But when Bobby Bowden came to Florida State, our football program was down on the mats. I mean, we were nearly out of the football business. And Bobby Bowden took over the program and built it into what it is today.
Despite Coach Bowden's contributions to the university and his dedication to his players, the team's results had declined. As he faced retirement, his character was never compromised. Following the 2009 season, Coach Bowden stepped down as head coach and away from FSU entirely. Despite being retired, he still kept busy with commitments both at home and across the country.
Well, I do a lot more housework than I've ever done in my life, by the way. When you're retired, that's what you do next, But I'm gone about half the time, and I've really enjoyed retirement.
This year, he made the decision to return to FSU. He now works with the Seminole Boosters, and he decided to make his return to Doak for the Noles home game against NC State. The university welcomed him back with a ceremony on the eve of the game. He was also asked to plant the spear before kickoff on Saturday, just as he did before his last game as head coach. Around 400 former players traveled to Tallahassee to honor him.
I don't like to cry, and it nearly got me going out. Last night, what gets me more than anything is the players. Looking at a player you haven't seen in 20 years, stuff like that gets you. And I don't think the crowd can bother me, not now.
And then the day arrived. Before a nearly packed house, Bobby Bowden walked onto the field that bears his name. He addressed the adoring fans, received the flaming spear, and planted it with emphasis. And just like that, Florida State's beloved football coach had returned. The legendary homecoming was complete. I'm Sean Davison for Seminole Sports Magazine.
When we return to Seminole Sports Magazine, we'll get you caught up with some of the latest scores in Florida State sports.
Seminoles fans, I'm Amanda Ferguson here with your Seminole update. Florida State's defense came out in full force this weekend and helped the team dominate Wake Forest 59-3. James Wilder Jr. and Devontae Freeman had early scoring runs 50 seconds apart. FSU tied a school record with 6 interceptions. Mario Edwards Jr.'s interception resulted in an 18-yard Kelvin Benjamin score. Christian Jones had an interception that led to an immediate touchdown by Carlos Williams to extend the lead to 49-0. Levante Whitefield closed the game with a 97-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter. The men's basketball team tipped off their season with a 91-67 win against Jacksonville. The Dolphins forced FSU into a slow start with a 26-23 lead midway through the first half. The Seminoles responded with a 20-10 run, including 10 points from Monte Brandon to end the half, 43-36. Devin Booker was strong with 16 points to help the Noles. Forward Okaro White finished the game with a game-high 18 points and 11 rebounds. The women's basketball team kicked off their season with a 93-57 victory over UNC Greensboro. Freshman Brittany Brown started the game with a layup off the opening tip 3 seconds into the game. Senior point guard Cheeto Delgado finished with 12 points and a career-high 10 assists. Senior Natasha Howard added 24 points, ranking up 18 points in the second half. The Noles generated 39 points off turnovers and turned in 64 points in the paint. It was one of the Seminoles' best shooting performances. The number 2 soccer team won their second ACC championship with a 1-0 victory over Virginia Tech. The only goal came from Dagny Brinsdottir in the 36th minute. Virginia Tech fired a shot toward the post in the 86th minute, but Kelsey Wise was there with a big save, deflecting the ball over the crossbar. There's another strong week for the Noles. I'm Amanda Ferguson, and that's your Seminole update.
When we return, the inspiring story of Peyton Poulin. You're watching Seminole Sports Magazine. Seminole Sports Magazine is brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero. Real Coke taste and 0 calories. Welcome back to Seminole Sports Magazine. Our final story today takes us onto the Al Dunlap practice fields, where one Florida State freshman has become an inspiration to everyone he meets. Limitation and impossibility are words that do not enter into Peyton Poulin's vocabulary. Find out how the Seminoles are playing for Peyton.
I've been a Florida State fan for my whole life. I love this university and what it stands for. I'm proud to finally be a Seminole.
Peyton Poulin is living the dream, spending every afternoon watching his beloved Seminoles. A freshman at Florida State University and a Seminole fan since childhood, Peyton was determined to make an impact on the FSU football team. Destiny provided a door, as Peyton shared a class with wide receiver Kenny Shaw, and the two formed an instant friendship.
Peyton was a big Florida State fan, how he just wanted to get a part of the team, and I took that into my hands and just told him basically come out to practice, just come be a part of the brotherhood that we got, and I mean, it's been like lights out since then.
Hey, 300.
Oh, we didn't care about 300.
Always upbeat, always got a smile on his face, always laughing, always energetic, and just happy to be out there in practice. And he raises my spirits every day I see him.
I was talking to him on the sideline one day, and just to get a laugh out, I think I was talking to Rashad, and I was like, you know, who your favorite player on the team? And he looked at me, he said, the Seminoles. He's a part of this team, and that's how we've accepted him.
Hey, tell him to get off their butts.
I need about 3 more minutes.
Tell him to get off their butts.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one. Hey, tell him. That was a pedal bike like in the air. Football is my passion. And I love seeing the team that I am about the most. That just makes me the happy guy I am.
He has always wanted to be a Seminole. to be part of the team he adores, and to be there every step of the way with his heroes. But the journey to Tallahassee has been anything but simple. At a young age, Peyton developed schizocephaly, a physical disability similar to cerebral palsy that impacts his ability to speak and have normal motor skills that most people take for granted.
You know, the doctors told us that Peyton wasn't going to be able to walk, that he might die at a certain age, that he may not ever be able to do anything. It is one of the most hurtful things I think you can experience as a parent when a child is having a seizure and you can't stop it. It really, really hurts from everything inside of you.
I am not supposed to be here. The doctor said that I will be in bed the rest of my life. They said that I will not be able to know my own name.
Despite the doctor's diagnosis, Peyton was determined to overcome every obstacle put in his path. He excelled at Harmony High School in St. Cloud, Florida, from becoming a star chess player to being named prom king and making an instant impact as a member of the high school football team.
He had to take a choice of to either stay in school and work hard or take a couple years off of school to be able to walk. And Peyton chose school over that. And that is a really hard thing to talk about. And because we all sat down and it was a big decision. You know, if you get a couple years of physical therapy, you're gonna have to take off of school and you're gonna have to just focus on that, and you can't focus on school. And Peyton made the decision to focus on school and focus on his dream.
I'm here at Florida University. This is my dream. I am going to keep playing on my own shop.
When it came time to graduate from Harmony High, Peyton knew he needed to overcome one final obstacle. He wanted to receive his diploma like every other high school student, to have the determination to walk across the stage, and received what he earned after years of struggle.
I didn't know that he was going to get up out of his chair to receive his diploma. It took me totally by surprise. When he got up, had some assistance, and he received the diploma from the assistant principal. I was on my feet. Everybody else was as well. 44 years of teaching, without a doubt, the most outstanding graduation I ever was a part of because of Peyton.
It was great. It showed the strength of him to say, you know, I'm going to do it. This is what I earned, you know, and he completely earned it. He needed to walk across the stage. It was just, it felt really overwhelming just to see it, and everybody in the whole arena was crying and shouting for him.
And it's been an inspiration to Florida State's coaches and student athletes to see a young man that will never stop, regardless of any limitation.
Man, Peyton, man, throw this 300, man.
The times that you feel sorry for yourself, the things that other people go through, and we all do it. We all get complaining about our everyday lives and this, that, and the other, and how bad it is. And there's always someone out there who has a different circumstance, but to watch him do it with such a smile on his face and have such a great attitude, I think it just puts things in perspective for those guys and makes them appreciate what they do have.
He just show you that, you know, take advantage of the fact that you out here and love and embrace the fact that you out here and the fact that we can touch him. And, you know, even though he's been through so much and he could be down about anything, but he wants to come out here. He wants to interact with us. You know, that just shows, you know, keep going. Whatever you're going through, push through it. It can only get better in the situation.
For a guy to be still living and still have to be upbeat like that, hey, it's way more than football. And life is way more than football. There's much more to it, and Peyton is that.
I never stop, and that's who I am. I have been and hopefully the players see that, and then try to do the same thing that I do. But I feel like they are my brothers now.
And it's become even more. Peyton is not only a part of the Florida State family, he's a symbol of hope, of what it means to persevere against all odds and overcome the impossible.
One day I want to be able to walk. I want to be able to get out of the thing, and I want to be able to run a marathon.
It's amazing what people can overcome, and it is. And the first thing is a mindset. It's a mindset and an attitude. And when you have the one that he has, it would not surprise me one bit to watch him get up out of that wheelchair one day and walk. Because I mean, that's just the kind of guy he is, the kind of person he is. And when you're around him, you understand that.
If he's provided his way to get him on to the football team, just being there and being around the team, I'm sure God's got a purpose and a plan for him to get him out of that chair too. And I hope that Florida State's a part of it, because it's going to be awesome.
Peyton has not only become a part of the Florida State family, he has become a symbol of hope. And with endless determination and a will that can move mountains, Peyton will continue to overcome every obstacle and inspire every Seminole fan, coach, and student athlete. He is truly the embodiment of what it means to be a Seminole. I'm Scott Kotick, and we'll see you next week on Seminole Sports Magazine.